Once every few years, we encounter a game that has the potential to change or improve a genre, or even the whole gaming industry itself. Elden Ring just might be one of those games, but it does not mean that everyone must or even should like it. Good day to and welcome, I'm IanBalek and this is Elden Ring Review from a semi-casual point of view. I never liked From Software PvP, so I'll be focusing on the single player or co-op experience. I'll try to keep away from the comparisons to previous Dark Souls games, as not everyone has played those. I'll focus mostly on the gameplay, as that is the meat and the bone of this game. Long story short, Elden Ring is a good game. It's probably even a great game. For some. If you want a game that you will go through with ease and which will provide you with interesting stories to follow in an easy to digest manner, then Elden Ring is not for you. If you've played and hated any Dark Souls games, then Elden Ring is not for you. If you are willing to learn how the game works, you are into deep lore, world building and challenges, then Elden Ring is definitely for you and can provide you with tens to hundreds of hours of entertainment. If you want to know more, then stay a while and listen. Let's start with presentation, so sound and graphics. Graphics first. Elden Ring runs on an updated Dark Souls 3 engine, an engine from before 2016. It is a great looking game, but not because of its fidelity. The shadows are nice, but not great, lighting is nice, but not great, textures are occasionally lacking in depth and quality. You can find better looking games on the market, such as the New Horizon or Cyberpunk 2077. Where the game shines is its graphical design. You will encounter so many great looking areas, so many views that will take your breath away, as well as stuff of nightmares, such as 10-fingered overgrown hands from the Addams family that will cast magic with their middle fingers. I can guarantee you that you will remember plenty of these areas and enemies fondly just because of the design itself. The sound is great as well. Voice acting is spot on the majority of the time, yet I'm not such a big fan of those a bit over the top theater level like performances. The sound design of the enemies, areas and music is where the game shines a lot more. You can almost always tell what's coming. Prompts for special attacks, counters or lack of stamina are easily distinguishable. And most of all, the music. The music ranges from these epic high fantasy themes down to somber and somewhat disturbing notes that occasionally and intentionally clash a little in disharmony with the ambient sounds of the surrounding areas. The graphical and sound design work together to create memorable moments which are not based on logic or your skill, but on the atmosphere and emotions that come with it. There is this one particular track that made me wait with the finishing blow of the boss just because I enjoyed the song and the atmosphere so much. However, the meat and the bone of Elden Ring lies in the gameplay. Before I get to that, please allow me a short interjection. If you like the video, maybe press the like button below or even subscribe to the channel. It's nice to see that someone appreciates my hobby, as I cannot even monetize these videos. If you'd like to really make my day, visit me on my Twitch, IanBalek, Monday to Friday live, and chat with me a little bit. Back to the review now. Gameplay is a difficult beast to tackle in a review like this, and I will try to keep it as coherent as possible. Let's start from the beginning. You can choose from a few archetypes of classes, but these do not limit you in any way later on. You can start as a priest with healing spells and end up being a cutting machine with 2 katanas. I would, however, recommend starting with the astrologer class for any beginner. Magic is the hidden easy mode in the early and mid game, and you can later on completely respec. And I don't mean right before the end of the game, really, later on. On the other hand, you might not need to. When talking about easy mode, I need to talk about the difficulty of the whole game. It is not as difficult as some might make you think. Yes, the combat consists of light attacks, strong attacks, charging attacks, jump attacks, magic, incantations, blocks, parries, dodges, and there are numerous types of weapons such as katanas, short swords, great hammers, whips, and so on and so on. And plenty of weapons within these categories have some unique moves. But this all is just knowledge that comes naturally to you as you progress through the game. The combat itself is more like a dance than a test of speed. Once you figure out the rhythm of the enemy, you can dance with them and lead. But go against the rhythm and you will find yourselves pulling the shorter end of the rope. Overall, the game is gonna be difficult if you do want to play it just on your terms, like in Assassin's Creed, because you will be literally fighting for your in-game life. Yet, there are ways to make it easier as well, or ways to help you with bosses whose rhythm does not suit you well. You can upgrade your characters and your weapons. Weapon upgrades are done with 2 special currencies, or rather 2 sets of items. One set of stones is for common weapons and one is for unique weapons. It makes a lot of difference if you go into harder boss fight with +1 weapon and +10 weapon. And these stones are fairly easy to get in caves and dungeons. Going through these caves also provides you with more runes that can be spent on leveling, and at the end of every such dungeon is an optional boss that can give you a new weapon, armor set, spell, or even new minions to summon. Yes, you can summon minions now to help you. You can do so in the majority of boss fights and some areas that have groups of enemies. You can also upgrade these so-called spirit ashes, and there is a plethora of them. Well, if you're struggling, even after you grinded upgrades a little bit, you can always try co-op and hope that this new player you summoned for help is better than you. I must say that I struggled with a boss battle only once or twice. Through the majority of Elden Ring, I consider bosses fair, though sometimes a little cheesy. But on a few occasions, I got mad at the game, as I saw the boss being designed difficult just for the sake of difficulty. Imagine, for example, a very aggressive duo that can kill you in only 2 hits, and that can also fly, change weapons, and spew poison. These moments were, however, rare, and the majority of the time I saw that I struggled due to my own mistakes, and not because of gear, lack of upgrades, or lazy or even bad design. The game is challenging, but not overly difficult, and it is possible to analyze the enemy and try to think of a more appropriate strategy, utilize some consumable items such as throwing bombs, weapon coating, or throwing knives with poison, rot, or magic damage. Elden Ring offers you plenty of ways to tackle your problems, and that is some very nice design. As you've probably guessed, the combat is great feeling, and the second-to-second gameplay can pull you in. Nonetheless, some people might miss some normal storytelling, some easy-to-see and easy-to-digest storylines, and memorable characters like, for example, in The Witcher 3. Elden Ring, however, provides you with superb lore and world building. From Software, and therefore Elden Ring, approaches narration differently. Some parts of narration are done through fairly small, yet not short, intricate and sometimes easy to miss or hidden quest lines of characters that are scattered all over the world. You will remember some, you will like some and dislike others, but you will probably not grow very attached to any of them. Except Alexander. Alexander is cool, Alexander is great. The majority of the lore and world building is done through items description, short utterances of bosses, and the environment itself. All Souls games have this great hidden story mechanism of narration through environment, as you can find dead bodies in special places, destroyed houses, damaged trees and walls, enemies in specific spawn points, and all of these, even the ground and the skies themselves, often tell a story. A story of individuals, of the region, of a group, of people. Elden Ring often gives you more things to imagine, and in this It works a little more like a picture book than a book written by a top author like J.R.R. Martin, who co-created the world of Elden Ring. It is a different style of storytelling and world building, and if you want something like Original Sin or Pillars of Eternity, millions of lines of writing, then you won't find it here. I must, however, once again say that the world building is exquisite, and explaining how and why on examples is something that would rob you of the experience of finding the stories and figuring them out on your own. There are exceptions, of course. There are a few characters that talk to you a bit more and who give you less cryptic answers, and incline more towards standard questlines in other RPG games. One of these characters gives you Torrent, your personal horse, or rather, goat, which can climb almost anything that is not 90 degrees up, and which can help you traverse that vast world much quicker and safer. There is also a fast travel system on the map, and you can immediately travel between any previously visited lost graces, which are like checkpoints or bonfires from previous games. No unlocking of fast travel, etc. This makes it easy to return to areas which were too strong for you a few hours back, as well as follow storylines of characters once you have discovered a larger bit of the map. The inclusion of mount also means that there is mounted combat, which is great fun, and some bosses are really made for that, and there are also new jumping puzzles, which can be solved only on horseback. Of course, areas where Torrent cannot be used, such as some castles, dungeons, caves and so on, also include hidden areas, and going through these often rewards you with very unique items. To give you an example of how it works, some secrets are hidden behind a simple jump over the ledge, some behind an illusory wall that disappears once you hit it or roll through, yet some require a lot more. Sometimes progression in a storyline of a character, sometimes specific items or even gestures or both. In one such puzzle, I needed to have a specific headpiece on and show a specific gesture at a specific place to unlock the doors. You get hints, but they are often very cryptic. As you can see and hear, Elden Ring is a large game. It offers a lot and it delivers a lot. One thing that it does unfortunately deliver as well are performance issues on PC. This might change in time, but the game's stutter is real. But it can be remedied a little by forcing VSync in your AMD Master or Nvidia control panel. Reflections seem to trigger this stutter, so fighting enemies in full golden armor or fire-breathing enemies in or near bodies of water often triggers these stutters. I've noticed that if such a stutter is severe and your FPS drops really significantly for a quarter of a second, the game will try to catch up in the next quarter of a second and it will speed up the enemies just for that moment. This, I hope, will be solved with patches, because I have an RTX 3080 and Ryzen 5600X, and this system should not have any trouble. There isn't even ray tracing that could really hit some GPUs. This is also the main reason why Elden Ring has only 83% on Steam and not 92% like Dark Souls 1 Remastered, despite being the superior game in almost every aspect. As I've reached more than 2000 words now, I should wrap it up. Elden Ring is a great game that has its issues. It provides plenty of options in combat, plenty of approaches to enemies, and the world itself, and I'm looking forward to seeing speedrunners try to abuse the shit out of it. But it also has some issues, and the beyond average but not impossible difficulty might discourage some. But behind this mask of difficulty lies a beautifully crafted world and staggeringly intricate level design that no other studio can achieve on such a scale. If you think you might enjoy Elden Ring, I'd say that you almost surely will. If you think you will probably not enjoy it, then you almost surely won't. Elden Ring does not hide what it is, but it hides some of its aspects that are in the end what created such a cult around From Software games. I can only say that if you are totally unsure, either give it a chance or wait for a discount in a year or so when DLCs come out as well, but do not skip on this unique experience and world like no other. I hope that this review helped you at least a little bit. Let me know in the comments if it did, if you already own the game, or if you will never touch it. Thank you for watching this, and see you next time.